So something kind of wild happened at CinemaCon this year, and I'm not even talking about the Avengers Doomsday trailer. It was a full-on backstage blow-up between theater owners, and at the center of it, AMC CEO Aron. Now, according to reporting from Matt Bellani over at Puck, a major rift broke out between the theatrical trade industry's main trade group, Cinema United, of which AMC is a part of, and AMC's Aron over the proposed mega merger between Paramount Global and Warner Bros. Discovery. And listen, this wasn't just a disagreement. This got personal. It was a backstabbing, Judas-like betrayal by AMC's CEO, where he double-crossed and completely blindsided his industry partners and colleagues, leaving the trade organization and his fellow theatrical executives feeling quote-unquote beyond annoyed and calling Aron a clown and a problem. We'll get deeper into the CinemaCon incident shortly, but this event is just the latest in a long, documented history of betrayal, incompetence, and a kind of corporate stolen valor. A history that has led many, like myself, to feel that one of the biggest threats to the entire movie theater industry isn't necessarily streaming or actor strikes, but Aron himself, the CEO of the biggest movie theater chain in the world. So let's get into it. Number 1. The theatrical window betrayal. Perhaps one of the most damaging things Aron has done to the theatrical industry was his deal with Universal Studios back in July of 2020. For decades, the 90-day theatrical window was the sacred cow. It was what made a movie a movie. If you wanted to see it, you had to go to the theaters. 75 to 90 days later, the film would be available in other avenues. When the pandemic hit, studios were understandably desperate to get movies to VOD. Most theater owners were holding the line on that 90-day window. They knew that if you break the theatrical exclusivity window, you destroy the value of the theatrical experience. So most movie theaters understood how critical it was to hold that line for the future health of the industry, except for Aron. Aron didn't just bend, he broke. He betrayed the other movie theaters who were holding strong and signed that deal that allowed Universal to put movies on premium VOD just 17 days after they hit theaters, or 31 days for bigger hits. The result? Movies like Ryan Gosling's The Fall Guy had an 18-day window before being made available on premium VOD. Abigail lasted just 18 days. Zendaya's Challenger just got a 21-day window. Tom Hardy's The Bike Riders also just had 18 days. The enormous damage this deal Aron made can't be overstated. And because the world's biggest chain did it, everyone else, Regal, Cinemark, and others, were eventually forced to follow suit. He devalued the very product he's supposed to be protecting. As one theater executive put it, "We've now conditioned audiences to view us, movie theaters, as unnecessary. We've conditioned them to believe that if they just wait 2 to 3 weeks, they can watch it at home." And the duplicitous nature of Aron was then put on full display when in February of 2025, he actually had the audacity to complain that there should be longer theatrical windows. Deadline reported Aron's statement in this: "In our view, 17 days or 30 days are too short. We believe everybody would make more money if the windows were longer. We'll continue to see what we can do to convince the industry that it should be firm around this 45-day number." Now, those are great words, except for the fact that it was Aron himself who brought the window down to those 17 days when he betrayed his entire industry. Calling for longer windows now is like a kid at a birthday party eating all the cake and then complaining that there wasn't enough cake for everybody. Number 2, the reality betrayal. Aron basically took credit for something he didn't do and tried to change the shape of reality. The most devastating event in the history of the theatrical industry, undoubtedly, was something that was absolutely not Aron's fault: the pandemic. It shut down not only the theaters, but it also put all movie production across the world on hold. For AMC, it couldn't have come at a worse time, as under Aron, AMC had taken on billions in debt and had just been downgraded to a junk bond status by the financial industry. The pandemic should have killed AMC, but they survived. How? By pure, dumb, fall-ass backwards into luck. A bunch of rebel investors created what we call today the meme stock phenomenon, which primarily impacted GameStop and AMC theaters. AMC stock went from about $2 per share to over $72 per share, and that's if you don't even take the reverse stock split into consideration. AMC took advantage of this pure dumb luck by issuing tons of new shares at these artificially inflated prices, raising somewhere between $2.5 to $3 billion in new cash, according to reports. Through no efforts of their own, AMC survived, thanks to the meme stock. But at CinemaCon in 2021, Aron took to the stage and framed AMC's survival as the result of bold and brave leadership, decisive decision-making, and strong foundations. Never once did he mention the meme stock, the artificial stock inflation that saved their proverbial asses. Oh sure, at one point he quickly thanked the retail investors, but he never drew attention to the reality of the situation or what ultimately kept AMC alive during that time. As I sat in that audience watching Aron spin the reality of the story into his own personal fiction, it was like watching Luke Skywalker's targeted computer taking credit for the shot that destroyed the Death Star. It just wasn't reality. Number 3, the employee betrayal. As we already mentioned, the pandemic, which was not Aron's fault, was devastating to the entire industry. Theaters had to close their doors for months, and as a result, theaters, including AMC, had to lay off or furlough an enormous amount of their staff. Now, according to the Wrap, AMC let 26,000 employees go. People lost their jobs, their income, their ability to pay rent, bills, or healthcare. And what did these employees see when they looked back over their shoulders to AMC headquarters? They saw Aron accept a $3.75 million bonus check. In a quarter where the company lost nearly $1 billion, had their doors shut, and let 26,000 people go, Aron took a check for $3.75 billion in bonuses. People who lost their jobs watched as the guy at the top took home a reported $60+ million from between 2020 and 2022. Some of it from salary, some of it from bonuses, and some of it as a happy result of the aforementioned meme stock. While everyone who worked for AMC to make their business run were losing their jobs, Aron was getting ridiculously rich. Now, we're not going to sit here and pretend like this sort of thing doesn't regularly happen in other industries too. Of course it does. Or that we think Aron shouldn't have continued to work and be paid. Not at all. But during that time, I spoke to and heard from many AMC employees who were seething in anger and resentment, not because of the pandemic, but because they had to watch their leader get his richest while they got their poorest. Number 4, the stock betrayal. As we previously mentioned, to keep the lights on, Aron used the meme stock events to issue large amounts of new shares to sell in order to raise capital for AMC. Now, I covered this in an entirely separate video, but as a result, AMC suffered stock dilution, and that, combined with a number of other factors, has seen AMC's stock value drop and drop and drop over the years. As a matter of fact, if we want to take a simplified look at it and take out the pandemic, the meme stock, and the stock splits completely out of it, if we just go back to November of 2023, AMC stock price was at $10.95. In early April of 2026, that stock hit AMC's all-time low, dipping under $1 per share. Over 90% of their value gone in that time frame. Now, as of this recording, thanks to the performance of movies like Mario Bros. Galaxy and Project Hail Mary, that stock is back up to around $1.90. And if you want to compare that $1.90 stock price to a couple of other main companies in the theatrical exhibition space, it looks even worse. While AMC is sitting at about $1.90 per share, Cinemark currently sits at $32.33 per share. Marcus, which is more than movie theaters, but it's sitting at $19.82. The bottom line is, under Aron's leadership, the value of AMC has Snoop Dogged. Dropped like it's hot, get it? Never mind. Going from a roughly $1.4 billion market value when he took over in late 2015, down over 3 times to roughly just $400 million today. Number 5, the consumer betrayal. This will vary depending on who you ask, but maybe the worst thing Aron has done, in my opinion, and continues to do, is attack the consumer, those of us who want to go to an AMC for a night out at the movies. This is manifested in a lot of ways, but I'll just highlight one. The biggest, in my opinion, is the consumer's time. When AMC advertises a 7 p.m. movie, it's pretty much guaranteed not to actually start before 7:30. Despite paying $15, $18, $22 for a movie ticket, Aron believes that doesn't entitle you to anything. despite the fact that The Hollywood Reporter reported a survey showing that 64% of moviegoers want to see a maximum of 3 trailers before a movie, and less than 3% of moviegoers think it's acceptable to have 7 or more trailers, Adam Aron has increased the pre-show time from 20 minutes to 30 minutes since he became AMC CEO, all while signing new deals to show even more commercials before the movie finally starts. And to cap all this off, showing this many trailers actually undermines the impact that the trailers are supposed to have. A Paramount Pictures executive on stage at a recent CinemaCon noted that theaters today are showing so many trailers that most people don't even remember which trailers they saw. And at this year's CinemaCon, Sony Pictures head Tom Rothman pointed out that theaters are now showing so many trailers that regular moviegoers have started conditioning themselves to arrive at the theater 30 minutes late, thus not seeing any of the trailers. While casual and occasional moviegoers are still showing up on time, but those people are now getting irritated by the length of the pre-show and a lack of respect for their time. But Adam Aron simply does not care. Number 6. The industry betrayal. Now, this all brings us back to the explosive events that took place at this year's CinemaCon, where Adam Aron completely betrayed the entire exhibition community when he absolutely blindsided them. At the most recent CinemaCon, as we mentioned earlier, Matt Bellani reported on a massive rift within the exhibition world after AMC CEO Adam Aron went rogue by publicly endorsing David Ellison's Paramount Warner Brothers merger. While the rest of the industry, his colleagues, represented by the trade group Cinema United, which AMC is a major member of, has been vocally fighting this deal on antitrust grounds. Bellani described the scene backstage as incredibly tense, noting that Cinema United chief Michael O'Leary appeared quote-unquote super pissed and even convened an emergency meeting to address the total lack of unity. The reaction from other theater executives was reportedly scathing. Other major players like Regal and Cinemark were beyond annoyed that Aron undercut their collective leveraging just as they were trying to convince regulators to block the deal. According to Bellani, these executives were so upset that some of them even called Adam Aron a clown and a problem. And look, I am certainly not here to say that it's impossible for this merger to work out or for David Ellison to keep his promises, not at all. But when you're part of a team, a part of a unified trade organization, you stand together with your colleagues. You don't stab them in the back at the last minute, completely by surprise. This was a cowardly, snake-like act by a man who has consistently shown a pattern of self-interest decision-making without any concern for undermining the long-term theatrical value. Time and time again, Adam Aron has demonstrated that movie audiences cannot trust him. He has demonstrated that AMC as a company cannot trust him. He has demonstrated that AMC employees cannot trust him. And now, once again, he has demonstrated that the movie theater industry as a whole, his own peers, cannot trust him. So who exactly is left? Anyway, that will do it for me, guys. My name is John Campea, and until next time, my friends, bye-bye.